What is up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Playing Hooky with Kev. I know y'all expected an open water episode for the next one, but fishing's been poor lately, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna run you through my whole crap ton of things here. As always, Playing Hooky with Kev is powered by Titan Tungsten. If you're looking for good tungsten weights, nice hats, nice shirts. I'm not wearing my shirt right now. Let's see, ice fishing jigs, all of it. I totally recommend it. Been with them for a year as a sponsor now, so that's a big milestone there. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it here. And first up, we got trout fishing lures right here. Mostly what I like to go with are inline spinners. Let's see, we got Panther Martins right here. We got the old Mepps spinners. I think these are Ozark Trail, courtesy of my brother. I got some salmon egg hooks in there and a couple treble hooks. Not sure how those got in there. And then a couple flies that I barely ever use. But not only are they good trout baits, they're pretty good pond baits as well. If you're looking at, fishing a small pond for bass, or even these little ones work on panfish like crappie, bluegill. I know some people catch perch on them. All good baits for small ponds and such. So and trout. I've done pretty well with them in both aspects. And another thing with the smaller spinners, this time of year when it's still cold, run them through those small ponds or even bigger ponds if you like. And they'll usually be the ones to work on those smaller waters as things start to try to warm up here. All right, next box, we got our terminal tackle right here. So let's see here. Let's open her up and see what we got. So terminal tackle, up top I got all my hooks. These were snelled hooks that I don't use the Snells by Eagle Claw. If any of you have any success with snelled hooks and all that stuff, leave your comments below. Even leave me pictures of your catch with those if you like. I always like to see what people are catching. We got my Wacky Rig / drop shot rig hooks. Those are pretty good for drop shot anyway. If you're fishing on a ledge, you'll use a drop shot weight that I'll show you in a minute. You'll lower that down and you'll just kind of work it, bouncing it off the bottom. Okay, then we got my offset EWG worm hooks right there. I'll use those for all my creature baits, my Senko worms, all that kind of stuff. So those work really well for bass, of course, most of you know. Then we got little bait holder hooks. I like to use those if I'm just using little night crawlers or little earthworms or whatever. Then we got my treble hooks over here. These bigger ones I usually use to replace on my hard baits, so like my crank baits, my jerk baits, all that stuff. Those are usually what I use to replace hooks on those that I break off. Then these smaller treble hooks, I'll use those for live bait fishing. So what I'll do is I'll rig a minnow on those, and I like using size 12 or size 14 hooks. These are size 14. They're easier for the fish to take into their mouth, so I like using those when I'm fishing with minnows. I'll even rig them with worms sometimes too. We got little spinners or blades or whatever if I ever wanna, make something into a blade bait or whatever. We got my, let's see, I've got my barrel swivels. So if I want to attach a leader to a swivel, I usually just tie my lines together and all that stuff. I don't usually bother with the barrel swivels that much, just because. And then let's see, we got my snap swivels. Again, I don't really use them that much because what I'll do is, if I want to tie on a new lure, I'll tie on a new lure. So I don't use those that much. Most guys that use them like to, switch out hard baits with them and all that stuff. Then we've got my little split rings or whatever, if I ever need to replace them on hard baits. So this is an interesting one, actually. These are little O-rings. I'll put them around a worm, usually a 6-inch Senko, right in the middle, and that's what I'll use to do my wacky rig fishing with. Like I'll just bounce it off the bottom, all that stuff. So there's that. Then we got my split shot weights. Of course, y'all know that live bait fishing usually like to use the split shots. Then down here we've got all my my tungsten weights by Titan. I like to use all these while I'm doing my Texas rig fishing, all that stuff. And we got my drop shot weights from Titan. I'll use those to drop shot fish. Then down here, all I've got really is just my metal leader that I don't really use. I got a couple worm harnesses for walleye. Again, I don't really use those that much, but it's neat to have them just in case. All right, so there's that box. By the way, guys, big credit to my camera woman behind the camera tonight. Familiar face to those of you who watch the YouTube channel. We got Bridget behind the camera. So if you want to say hi to him, you can, Bridget. And then off into the corner, we won't show him.
She already did.
She already did. But we got my roommate Ethan. We're actually all up at school right now, so yeah, this is fun. All right, so next box, we got my jigs and swim baits. So up top, we got all my Northland jig heads. I usually like to rig. What I'll do is I'll rig grubs on these, all that stuff. Usually when I'm if I'm river fishing and I want to do live bait, sometimes I'll take one of these and I'll put a night crawler on them, and they'll do pretty good on the river. These right here, we got my tube jig heads. So if I want to fish with a tube, I'll show you all those when we get to my soft baits. But yeah, I'll rig those up on those, and again, those usually do pretty good on the river. These are just smaller jig heads. I'll put the gulp minnows on them, or if I want to rig a Keitech swim bait on them, I'll do that too. These are just some old Ned rig heads. I want to get some from Titan Tungsten pretty soon. Those of you who follow Titan Tungsten or are sponsored by Titan Tungsten, y'all know that their jig heads or their net heads really wreck them. So I can't wait to get a few of those in the future. Then right here we just got a few crappy panfish, little lures and stuff. And we got my Mr. Twisters. They'll work on bass, walleye, all that kind of stuff in the rivers. More of the same thing throughout this row. Then we got the Mimic minnows by Northland. Again, a lot of these lure companies I'm not sponsored by. Actually, I'm only sponsored by Titan. I don't I don't really want to be sponsored by lure companies at this time because I kind of like experimenting with new things, maybe in the future. But I am partial to a few different ones. But anyway, I got my little hair jigs down here, micro jigs. Actually got a couple football jigs. I need a couple more of those coming soon. Then down here we just got all my swim baits. These ones, you'll drop shot them. Just stuff like that, that I can just kind of bounce off bottom and swim through the water. I'll put in this box. Next box. I don't use them that much, but this box, we've got all my top water baits. So my jitterbugs, I love fishing jitterbugs, just because of the action they have on top. Then we got all my like ploppers, y'all know how that goes, my spooks. We got a couple mini like grasshopper walking baits, little mini plopper there. I only have one top water frog. I don't frog fish that often, but it's kind of fun. I've gotten more into it in the past couple of years than I have ever been into it, so hopefully get some frogging done more this summer. Let's see, next box. So these are all my lipless crankbaits. I like to use these in the rivers. I'll cast upstream and I'll work them across as we go. Let's see, where's the one I caught that smallie out of the Canisteo? Oh, yep, right there. I don't know. I know Bridget was in that video. I think she was there, I know. But I caught that smallie out of the Canisteo River and I freaked out, and it was funny. So if y'all haven't seen that video, go ahead and check it out, because my just the noises I make after catching that fish are kind of funny. So yeah, in here we got all my like square bill type crankbaits, my deep divers, all that stuff. I like to use them in bigger ponds, and even my grandparents' pond I'll use them. I'll use them in the lake. So I like to dive these mostly in deeper waters, where I know the largies will be, the smallies will be. Then I have like some smaller ones down here if I want to go micro. Actually, I might want to try a couple of those out while it's still colder weather. I think those might be key players in the next couple weeks while we're waiting for stuff to warm up. And in here we got my favorite baits of all time, the jerk bait. Again, I love working these through the river. I love working them through pond. I love fishing jerk baits anywhere, just because they're such an easy bait to fish. You'll go twitch, then you'll reel up a little bit, and so I love jerk baits. They're my absolute favorite bait to fish, hard bait wise anyway. I'm not sure. I don't really have an all-time favorite bait, but I've caught a lot of fish using jerk baits, so there's those. I guess I'll get my other stuff out of the way here. Right here, I mean, we got some line. If I'm using like a spinning setup, I'll go with the Berkley Trilene. Again, not a sponsor, but I like Berkley line a lot, for monofilament anyway. Then for my bait cast setups, I don't really use the 30-pound setup. You don't need it. Mostly what you want to go with is 12-pound Berkley big game mono. Again, it's not you know, a lot of these companies, as I've said a couple times in this video, not sponsors, but you know what, there's certain ones I believe in, and Berkley Big Game is a pretty good one if you're using a bait cast setup. For my braid, I've been using a lot of Power Pro lately. They make pretty good braid. I use highest poundage I'll go is 10-pound braid. You don't need that much poundage on your line. Guys who use like 40 to 50 pounds test, I don't know what their reasoning is, but actually I do have 50-pound test for whatever reason. My grandfather Early gave me this a few years back. Haven't figured out a use for it. So other than fishing, if y'all got a recommendation for what I could do with that, leave it down in the comments below. For my soft baits, you know, got the garlic dip in case I want to, you know, make something smell a little more attractive to the fish. So nothing too crazy there. And now we got all my soft baits. So I'll start with stuff I've already got open. In here we got some creature baits like lizards, craws, got a few bandito bugs, and a couple fluke minnows in there, just because I only had a few more. So those are awesome to use anywhere. Got a couple ribbit frogs. Again, they're pretty old, but I haven't had much success on them, but you know, people catch fish on them. These are all my trick worms, different colors. Usually use them to drop shot. Again, I don't really use them that much, but I'd like to get into more drop shot fishing this summer than I have before. Then we got all my Senkos, these are all Yum Dingers. We got I believe these are 3-inch dingers. Then we've got my 2-inch dingers. That's kind of a funny word to say, dinger. Anyway, then we got just the 6-inch Senkos, or whatever you want to call them. Love using those anywhere. And we got my grubs. I'll use them as like trailers for my jigs, or you know, I'll put them on a jig head at the river, stuff like that. So those are always fun to fish with. These ones, I always keep the Berkley ones in the packaging usually, because it keeps the scent going. These are my Gulp minnows. I got to use these things up because, you know, I've had these for a couple years, and trust me, when you open that packaging, it's pretty smelly. So there's that. And we got my Hellgrammites. I like using those for smallmouth on rivers, all that stuff. I only have a few left. Probably gonna have to get more this summer. Then we got my tubes. Again, those tube heads, I rig them up on. These are pretty good on the rivers for smallmouth, walleyes, you know, fish like that. Then we got all the new setup here, so I'll quickly go through them. I got this in a mystery tackle box. This is the one my dad got me for Christmas. Never used Game Changer lures, so if any of you have had success with them, leave it in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. The eel eliminator, I guess it's supposed to be an eel imitation. So, yeah, that'll be a fun bait to fish, for sure. Move those out of the way. Let's see, big fan of the Zoom lizards, chartreuse pumpkin. For whatever reason, I like fishing like chartreuse, green pump, all that stuff. There's green pumpkin, lizards. Zoom Super Flukes, of course, those are always a favorite for guys. And more grubs by Zoom. Actually, if I remember correctly, Bridget's niece was catching them last summer on these little grubs, and they were working well for her, so that's kind of where I got the idea to buy them. So big shout out to Kelsey, because you know, I was really taken by surprise by that. More green pump lizards. We got the U-tails, so you know, Texas rig 'em. You could even probably drop shot those. Let's see here. More flukes. We got the white ones. Big bite baits. We got some creatures right there, so those would be good on like jig trailers, all that stuff. Let's see. More flukes. We got baby bass color right there. Good color. More lizards. Let's see. More flukes. Basically all I've got is lizards and flukes and yum dingers and all that crazy stuff. I mean, again, I'm not usually partial to one specific brand of bait, but I like my Zooms, I like my Yums, I like my Berkeleys, but I like trying out different stuff. Like last summer, I was a big fan of the idea of trying out Guggen baits. And I love their Bandito bug. They're good on Texas rigs and jig trailers, all that stuff. And then here's an interesting one, and it's actually the last one I've got to show you. We've got net bait right here, and these are the daggers. They're kind of like a crawfish imitation, that kind of thing. So pretty good on Texas rigs, I'm pretty sure. I've never tried net bait, so we'll definitely have to have a video trying this out. And it's kind of awesome how I got this net bait. So there's this new company out there. They're not a sponsor, but I just discovered them like a week or two ago. They're called LunkerText. So what goes on is you'll sign up, you'll put your card information, your email, your phone number, and all that stuff. And what they'll do is they have different like bundle offers. So I got a 5-pack bundle right here, and you can choose how many different units or bundles you want, or like how many times. You get the point. So they'll send you a text with with an offer for it, and it's like ridiculously low, like cut in half, maybe even more sometimes. So you'll get a text, you just respond with the number of stuff you want, and you're all set. So I think that'll be a good thing to use. I actually just today, my mom's gonna kill me, but today I got Lunker Hunt, I can't remember, it was the shad swim baits or whatever. So those will be a good player this summer. But yeah, I totally recommend using them. Again, pretty quick and simple process. I'll put my GoPro and stuff in there with all my stuff. I mean, yeah, guys, I think I got pretty much everything a fisherman would need. Your thoughts, Bridget?
Well, I'm pretty sure you got more in your room at home and in your truck, so.
Yeah, and then another player right here. This is going to be for a later video, but I guess I'll reveal this right now. I'll set this aside. I'll put this right here. Set this aside for a little bit. So this tackle box, this is going to be one whole video within itself. So this tackle box used to belong to my grandfather. We used to, this tackle box is like the holy grail for me. Like every time, like the first times I went fishing as a kid were with this tackle box. A lot of the stuff we ended up using. What the heck? Is it like sealed shut? Oh, we're good. So, lots of old stuff in there. So we've got old hooks that I could use. We've even got old fishing line that's like bird nested right now, but just all kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, this is like the holy grail for me. Yeah, no words, honestly. So that's actually a pretty interesting bait, like a mini craw imitation, all that stuff. So I think a lot of this used to belong to my great uncle Fritz, but you know, after he passed away, I think, or I can't remember the whole story, but you know, this was my grandfather's tackle box. You know, we used to have a lot of bobbers in here, and I ended up using a lot of it in recent years. But yeah, something I'm definitely glad to have as kind of a, you know, kind of a remembrance type of thing or whatever. By the way, again, all of you, my friends and my followers and all that stuff, you know, thanks for all your love the past couple, or the past month or whatever, since all that happened with him. So I think that, yeah, that's all I got. We went through, how long has this video been so far?
We're at 27 minutes.
Holy crap. Wow. So guys, I guess that's it for the night. Again, we'll try to get out there and get filming for you guys here. It's supposed to warm up within the next couple of days. Like, we're gonna be in the 80s next week. It's gonna be shorts weather.
I am ready.
School's almost out for us in college, so summer vacay's coming up, and you know what that means. We got videos, fishing, bonfires, all kinds of stuff going on. So, you know, whenever you guys get a chance to get outside this summer and do stuff with your friends and all that stuff, take that opportunity, because, you know, y'all know it's some of the funnest times of your life. So I think that's all I got for tonight. So I guess we'll see y'all next time, and yeah, catch y'all later. Night.